Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Billie Jean Osborne's Kentucky Opry.
Closer to you, get closer to me. Darling, if you want me to be closer to you, get closer to me. Darling, if you want me to love only you, then love only me. Darling, if you want me to see only you, then see only me. There's a line that I can't cross over. It's no good for me, and it's no good for you. And there's a feeling deep down inside me. I can't explain it. You're only one. You say we've been like strangers. Closer to me, darling, if you want me to be closer to you, get closer to me. Darling, if you want me to love only you, then love only me. Darling, if you want me to see only you, then see only me. I'ma come running, drop everything for the touch of your hand in mine. Now you regret it, 'cause I can't forget it. It's locked in my mind, and I can't go on living day to day wondering if we'll be here tomorrow. Changing, and I'm giving you my all. There's no more to borrow. Darling, if you want me to be closer to you, get closer to me. Darling, if you want me to be closer to you, get closer to me. Darling, if you want me to be closer to you, get closer to me. Closer, darling, if you want me to be closer to you, get closer to me.
Well, happy Saturday and welcome. That's some way to get us kicked off, huh? Hey, thanks to everybody for making time a Saturday and a busy time of the year to be with us here at the Mountain Arts Center and in Prestonsburg tonight. And we're so thankful to have the Kentucky Opry that's going to be providing entertainment throughout tonight's program. You know, as I think about this event and how it came to be, it was really pretty simple. At the beginning of 2022, we kicked around the idea of putting something together to just celebrate progress across Eastern Kentucky, to bring a light to individuals and organizations that are doing extraordinary work. And so everybody in this room is well aware of the challenges and the problems and the work that's yet to be done in Eastern Kentucky. We'll worry about that tomorrow. Tonight's going to be a celebration. Tonight's going to be a party. And tonight's going to be an opportunity for us to really recognize people and groups of people that deserve the recognition. I do want to recognize tonight's presenting sponsor, Kentucky Power, as well as the rest of event sponsors and SOAR corporate partners. I can't be here, standing here talking to you today if it weren't the folks that financially support SOAR and the organization and the work that we do. So I would please ask you to know who those folks are in your program booklet, as we have everybody listed there, but we're so grateful for your support in helping make tonight possible. So we received over 400 nominations for all the different awards that are going to be given out today. This is the inaugural SOAR Eastern Kentucky Gala, and over 400 nominations were received. And all those nominations were scored and graded by the SOAR Executive Board, a committee that we have known as the Future Forums Committee. And so we're super, super honored to release and to award the finalists and the award winners tonight. And I think we're gonna have a really fun time together, and just really appreciate you being here. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. I wanna invite to the stage tonight's MC, Mr. Keith Casebolt. Keith?
Thank you, Colby, and welcome to the gala tonight. And honestly, what a privilege it is for me to be here, because without SOAR, I don't think I would be here, because the two companies I have, Casebolt Marketing and Creative Media, are based upon the principles of SOAR. And when you walked into this building, if you saw the big CMH23.com, that's because of your Congressman, Hal Rogers. At the very first SOAR meeting, he stood up and said, the state of Kentucky gets $10 billion in tourism, and somebody is going to have to explain to me why Eastern Kentucky only gets 5% of that. When we have the Breaks, the Grand Canyon, the Hatfield-McCoy Trails, the Elks, and the Country Music Highway. And that's where CMH23.com came from. The website, we're streaming this event around the world. The radio channel, CMH23.com, which is playing the stars of the Country Music Highway. Not only the Chris Stapleton and the Loretta Lynn's, but the Nick Jamerson and this band behind me. And I'm gonna tell you something, we've produced over 60 half-hour shows of local talent that's aired on TCN, the Country Network, across the United States. And currently, we're in negotiations to broker those shows into Europe. And when TCN came to this facility and they listened to this band, they didn't say they're the best in the Kentucky. They said this is the best damn band in the United States. And I've got to say, I love what SOAR is doing with this gala. If we can't get the rest of the country to recognize the people of this region when we've suffered through a pandemic, a 100-year historic flood, the demise of coal, and yet we've still moved on, then we'll do it ourselves. And that's what we're doing tonight. Think about SOAR. They're putting on Appalachia's premier events, from the annual summit to the Appalachian Nursing Academy to the Healthcare Career Pathway Fair and the workshops all across the region, and now the very first Eastern Kentucky Gala for SOAR. We'd like to thank all of you for being here, because without you, it wouldn't be possible. All the nominations and all the winners, congratulations to all of you. Are you ready to get the show started? Welcome to the East Kentucky Gala, sponsored by SOAR.
Welcome to Eastern Kentucky. A place surrounded not only by natural beauty, but also the arts and welcoming people. Hi! He did wave. We had the best time exploring Eastern Kentucky. In Pikeville, people were friendly, lots of waving, and it was also walkable. Honestly, it felt like we were on a movie set with the lights, the art, and the cute little shops. We met Shannon Kirkpatrick Daniels at the App to learn more about this region and its connection to the arts.
Appalachia in itself, they're full of storytellers and artists. That's one of the things that I love about this area is that almost every person that you meet, they've got a story and they've got some random artistic streak in them that they just act like it's no big deal. And so that, along with the city support, along with the community support of the arts, that's just kind of all coming together to help build this really cool artistic town that's growing and growing and growing. There's something about just being around here with the hills, with the mountains, and then that mix of the people that you meet here. I don't know what it is, but there's something that you're like, this is a really cool place to be.
Next, we traveled to Prestonsburg, which is home to a sweet little downtown. Look at this cutie! And a science center. We met Krista Gent, who was the first woman to direct the East Kentucky Science Center and Planetarium. She's new to the area and loving it.
The thing that I like about here, and I'm a huge outdoor person, so I love kayaking and hiking, so of course there's plenty of that. We're just surrounded by this amazing natural scenery. It's so relaxing and nice and a little bit slower paced, but not too much. There's so much interesting things here. So they're like hidden gems in a way, and we want them not to be hidden. We want everyone to know about them. I'm glad that we made the move here.
I grew up here, and a lot of my friends would always make fun of me or laugh at me because I was such a passionate advocate for Eastern Kentucky. So it was always one of those things that was like, I want to come back. I want to be a part of this community.
And so they did. Victoria and Turner opened Altman Eye Center because they wanted to give locals the same options as big cities. Victoria let me try on a bunch of glasses. All of them were so cute. One was a fave of Hailey Bieber.
I was so excited to move home. I went to college, and I didn't think it'd take so long for me to get back home, honestly.
When I was living in Birmingham or when I was living in Hawaii, and people are like, wait, you live in the mountains? Like,
Yeah.
I've heard about people like you. And I'm like, well, whatever you've heard, I'm probably not what you've heard of, because you can get past the accent. If you can get past some of that stuff, life here is life like it is other places, and it's a wonderful place to live.
There's so much talent, there's so much culture, there's so much history right here in this area that I don't feel out of place living here.
Honestly, I think what a lot of people get wrong is that they look at Eastern Kentucky, they think Eastern Kentucky, rural town, is probably pretty close-minded. And I've met some very open-minded people. I mean, the app, every year during Halloween, we do the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and it sells out. And that's not something that you would expect in this town.
I think we loved our time in Eastern Kentucky because people were so kind. They waved, they said hello, they smiled, they told interesting stories. If you're a remote worker looking for natural beauty and welcoming folks, Eastern Kentucky is a perfect fit.
We can't wait to see you in Kentucky.
We'd love to have you here.
Please welcome Make My Move CEO Mike Rutz and Vice President Ben Lado.
Good afternoon. I'm Mike Rutz, CEO of Make My Move. We're so honored and happy to be here. At Make My Move, we really try to work with communities to help them tell their unique stories and use those stories to attract new residents. And we're so excited about our partnership with SOAR in Eastern Kentucky.
As Mike mentioned, we are so excited about telling the rest of the world what everyone in this room knows already, and that is what a special place Eastern Kentucky is, with respect to its God-given natural beauties, to its amazing history and incredible people.
So it's our distinct honor to be able to present the City of the Year Award to two cities in Eastern Kentucky that have faced unprecedented challenges, but the way they've responded to them and banded together as a community to overcome those challenges and continue to work at them is obviously the reason why they've won the awards, and also I think shows the rest of the world why Eastern Kentucky is such a wonderful place.
So without further ado, we'd like to congratulate the two cities of the year, to the city of Whitesburg
And the city of Jenkins.
Congratulations.
Thank you all so very much. To receive an award of this magnitude, this is such an honor. And I know we all believe that we live in the best city in the world. I can say without a doubt, I live in the best city in the world, Whitesburg, Kentucky. And I have a few people out there with me that will agree with me. We've been through so much in the last 9 months. And to see what a community I live in, to see how driven these people are, how resilient they are, I can't say enough about them that could truly explain just how proud I am of each and every person. And it's because of the people in my community that I am receiving this award on their behalf. And I thank you so, so much.
Wow, what an evening. And I don't know about you all. Did anybody have any flashbacks to prom night and getting ready and talking to folks about what dress, what not to, and all that stuff? So other than trying to borrow old Camaro to get down here is about the same. I want to thank SOAR. I want to thank the foresight and the vision of Congressman Rogers to get this thing started. I've made it every year. And just the networking, meeting the people and understanding what's going on. Kobe, Josh looks like he's about to land an airplane running back and forth. But I really appreciate the award. And we're moving forward. We're going to talk about the bad stuff tonight, but we're going to come out of here, and because of folks like SOAR and everybody supporting us, we'll get through this. Thank you all.
Please welcome Kentucky State Senator Philip Wheeler.
It is my great honor to be here at the SOAR Gala today to introduce one of the real dynamos of the 31st State Senate District that I'm proud to represent. Lawrence County is the only county in eastern Kentucky to have grown in population at the last census. So what does that tell us? It means that they're doing something right. The County of the Year Award recognizes a county government that is working to create opportunities for citizens and to attract new citizens to live there, to bring in industries and create new opportunities through creative and collaborative ways. Lawrence County is the home of American Idol winner Noah Thompson, Grammy Award winner Ricky Skaggs, and Tyler Childers. The county has made significant upgrades in their facilities in the last year in an attempt to create new jobs and promote new business. This includes pickleball and tennis courts, a motocross track. It is also home to the largest inflatable water park in Kentucky at Yatesville Lake. County officials have worked with the Backroads of Appalachia project to host a rally racing event. and established a dedicated 3-motorcycle route from Route 32, Farmers Fury, and the Country Music Highway 23. Because of all this action on the part of the Lawrence County government, they have been named by SOAR as the County of the Year.
First of all, I want to thank God for all his many blessings. Without his help, this would never happen. And this is a great honor to be the County of the Year. I want to thank SOAR for this award and for their involvement in all the counties and all the work that they do in the counties that they represented. I want to thank all the people of Lawrence County for working together and all the stuff that we've achieved. And I accept this award on their behalf. Thank you all.
Please welcome QK4 Engineering and Planning Project Manager, Eunice Fitzpatrick Holland.
QK4 Engineering, Planning, and Surveying has 7 Kentucky offices, with our most recent expansion in beautiful downtown Prestonsburg, just down the road. For nearly 50 years, QK4 has focused on making meaningful, lasting change in the communities in which we live and work, a focus that is shared by the cities, the counties, and the people who we are here to honor this evening. The Downtown of the Year Award recognizes a downtown or Main Street organization that has worked to support existing businesses and attract new businesses to their downtown, while also establishing collaborative beautification efforts and downtown Wi-Fi access. This year's award recipient is Revitalize Russell. Please check out the Revitalize Russell story.
The 5 of us got together because there was an economic decline in Russell. And we were all really feeling it at the time. The hardship really of what was going on in our area.
Behind the scenes, you know, we're meeting and we're thinking of all these things, and everybody gets so excited and everybody wants to join in and do all these things. And it's created such a momentum. I've never seen anything like it.
This Revitalize Russell movement has kind of fostered that nurturing role in helping people kind of to develop their business. And I do feel like we see that like daily, and we get that a lot, like from people who have been elsewhere and then moved in downtown. They are really surprised that whether they're downtown Russell, whether they're up here, it's not really about a competition. It's, you know, like you kind of look at it like, how can I help you? How can I help my neighbor? How can I make your business better?
Revitalize Russell is not just about downtown Russell.
Mm-hmm.
It's all of Russell. We took the leap back in 2018 and purchased this building that Ashland Oil owned. I created a venue at the Edge. So a wedding venue right here in Russell that holds 420 people. So it's not just downtown. This building was a huge purchase as well. We call this the Hill District up here on the hill. And again, I have right now in this building almost 30 businesses.
We want everybody to be involved. Anybody can come in and be involved with Revitalize Russell. We welcome that. We want all ideas. You know, we're just out there trying to get it together and bring everybody together or connect them with other people. That's what it's all about.
So when we first started, we had about 6-7 employees, and now we're a total of 16 employees. So there's great, huge things that's coming to the nest, and you know, with the addition of the med spa, it's only getting bigger, it's only getting better. The growth has been way more than I thought. I mean, I knew it was going to be good, I'm not going to lie, but I didn't know that it was going to be this good. Our community has completely opened their arms to us and given us a big warm hug and just welcomed us into downtown Russell, into Russell, and it's been amazing.
What inspired us to open Oridus was brewing beer has been a hobby of mine for about 12 years, and it's been the dream of mine to open up a brewery. Kristen has been doing herbalism for the past several years, so we decided to combine our efforts and open the area's first and only tea and tap house.
Revitalize Russell has been a huge part of our growth and collaboration with other local businesses and people with the same vision and the same drive. So we've partnered together with businesses and as a community to host events like our Halloween Town and the Christmas Parade and upcoming Railroad Days. All of those things can't happen unless everyone works together to make them. And so we're trying to all work together because we all have the same vision for Russell.
Being the first food business in downtown Russell, I think has set a stage for other food vendors to want to migrate to Russell, whether it be a food truck or a permanent location. We do have another permanent location. Another person has put a dairy bar right down the road. So, and we all work together. You know, there's enough business for everyone. So that's our take on it.
And there are so many good resources like SOAR. So many resources you may not even know about, but just at least get in touch with SOAR and network and get that help that you need. You don't feel like you're alone, because you're definitely not. And there are tons of people ready to help you succeed. You know, rising tides raise all ships. So just go for it.
Award to Revitalize Russell.
Very quickly, thank you so much. We are so proud of our small hometown. We love Russell and hope you all come to see us. Thank you.
What a great way to start with our cities and our downtowns. How about a hand for how things have been going so far? Pretty good, huh? There's also something that's very important to SOAR, and it's called a second chance. And SOAR would like to call it a fair chance. We all know what addiction has done to our region. And the big misconception is that addiction only hits bad people. That's simply not true. Addiction hits everyone. And you don't have to look far down in your community to see someone that's been affected by it. Along with addiction, one of the other things that SOAR has been working on is the affordable and reliable high-speed internet. SOAR has worked hard to create and support local fiber boards through its manual or writing and winning of broadband grants. Our next awards will highlight those transforming lives on the front lines of recovery and those that are working hard to make sure that everyone in their community has access to connectivity.
Please welcome Operation Unite Prevention Program Coordinator Courtney Maynard and Director of the Kentucky Help Statewide Call Center, Jamie Gillum.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Courtney Maynard, and I'm the Prevention Program Coordinator with Operation Unite. Unite was formed at the epicenter of the pain pill epidemic, rural southern and eastern Kentucky. Operation Unite pioneered a nationally recognized holistic approach combining law enforcement, treatment, and education in our 32-county region to combat the opioid crisis. We have been working alongside community partners like SOAR and evolving for the past 20 years to address this insidious epidemic as it evolves and tries to elude us. Unite engages in this battle in many ways, but just to highlight a few, we provide 90-day treatment vouchers for those in the 5th Congressional District, we staff the Kentucky Help Statewide Call Center, and we pour heavily into prevention efforts for not only our youth, but for our community members in recovery and those currently struggling with active substance use disorder. While 20 years is a long time to be in the trenches, I speak for all of Operation Unite when I say that our mission continues to ring true. We stay strong in our efforts to create hope and change the culture. It is with great pleasure that Unite is represented here to present this award, the eKY Recovery Award. This award is given to an individual, group, or organization that is working on the front lines to provide opportunities for recovery for those impacted by substance use disorder. It is designed to recognize efforts to train, employ, establish educational pathways, serve families, and impact communities through the power of collaborative efforts and innovative thinking. Addiction Recovery Care is an Eastern Kentucky organization headquartered in Lawrence County, Kentucky. CEO Tim Robinson started ARC with Karen's Place in 2010. It has grown to more than 30 inpatient and outpatient facilities, with the majority of them in Eastern Kentucky. ARC's nationally recognized Crisis to Career model has had a transformative impact on our region's approach to treatment and recovery, while helping to grow and reshape Eastern Kentucky's workforce at a time when it is needed most. Crisis to Career combines clinical and medical treatment with recovery skills, life skills, and job training, and ultimately re-entry or entry into the workforce. To that end, it is fitting that the first eKY Recovery Award goes to Addiction Recovery Care.
I would just like to say thank you so much from all of us at Addiction Recovery Care. We are so grateful for our partnership with SOAR and with Unite, and we're so proud to be able to serve this community and continue to rescue thousands one life at a time.
Please welcome the Center for Rural Development President and CEO, Lonnie Lawson.
Well, what a wonderful event. The Center for Rural Development opened in 1996. We are a part of the vision of Congressman Hal Rogers of making certain that East Kentucky is not forgotten in any of the programs that are out there. As I travel throughout the region, the programs that I get the most questions on, number one is broadband. Number two is our youth programs, Rogers Scholars, Rogers Explorers, and the Entrepreneurial Leadership Institute. Those youth programs kick off in about 30 days, 1st of June. So I know there's some folks in the audience that are going to have students that go through those programs, but it's a great program. Rogers Scholars is absolutely the favorite thing for me that we do at the Center for Rural Development. Another program that we're heavily involved in is training for folks coming out of substance use facilities, trying to get them back in the workforce. That's a really big program, and the award winner that you just heard is one of the people that we partner with. So I'm excited about that program. And then the number one focus that we have at the center right now is broadband. So I think it's very, very appropriate that we would present the East Kentucky Connect Award. The East Kentucky Connect Award recognizes organizations or individuals or groups that promote and champion broadband expansion, digital equity, digital easy for me to say, literacy in our region. So this year's East Kentucky Connect Award is given to two separate organizations, and both of these organizations have been strong champions for broadband access. The Leslie County Fiber Board is the very first one, and I want to read the members that are here of the Fiber Board. Frank Baker, who happens to be a 1999 Rogers Scholar, by the way. Kevin Cook, Carol Joseph, Elbert Estep, and Brandon Fields. Leslie County's Fiscal Court Fiber Board has been working tirelessly on improving broadband since 2016, and I do mean tirelessly. They are tenacious when it comes to trying to get broadband throughout their region, and they would not accept no for an answer. So, enter Thacker Grigsby. Thacker Grigsby Communications, located in Hindman. I didn't know this as I was preparing for this. I looked back and they're over 100 years old. I was not aware of that, but they have been aggressive in going out and making sure that they can get broadband everywhere that they possibly can. In 2022, Thacker Grigsby was awarded a $12.18 million grant and a $12.18 million loan through USDA's Reconnect program to deploy fiber to the premise to connect 4,466 people, 39 businesses, 27 farms, and 4 educational facilities in 2 East Kentucky counties. One of those counties just happens to be Leslie County. This is in addition to over $5 million in existing investment in Leslie County. As a leader in broadband connectivity in East Kentucky, it is my honor to award the East Kentucky Connect Award to both Thacker Grigsby Communications and Leslie County Fiber Board.
To keep this short and not get too emotional, I want to thank everyone, and whenever I say everyone, it truly has taken everyone for us to do what we've done. And there's so many people that wouldn't be able to fill this stage or this auditorium. But partnerships mean a lot, and Thacker Grigsby's allowed us to do what our hopes and dreams have been, which is to help our communities, our citizens, our residents to get infrastructure, fiber that will allow them to compete with the modern world and do anything that they want to do from their homes, whether it be work, education, hobbies, whatever it may be, start their own businesses. So we want to thank everyone, SOAR, Congressman Rogers, everybody, and to keep from getting too emotional, thank everybody. Thank you all very much.
Oh, we just wanted to thank Frank and the whole Leslie County Broadband Board for being so great to work with and their dedication to making sure that Leslie County has broadband connectivity to every residence. Thank you, guys.
Please welcome Regent Chairman, CEO, and co-founder, Robert Skana.
Hello, everyone. My name's Bob Skana. I'm the CEO of Regent Corporation, and I've been given the honor tonight of introducing Chairman Hal Rogers, which is amazing for me because I'm an Italian kid from Jersey City, and I got introduced down here about 7 years ago to Hal Rogers and the folks of Eastern Kentucky, and was really moved and impressed by the reception that I got down here. I noticed one thing, though, that while you folks are really great, you're short of Italians down here. And so I thought, you know, Hal is a great fan of music from Eastern Kentucky, and he's really a great fan of Ray McClain. But what I'd like to do tonight is do a blend of Grand Ole Opry and opera. And so to start our discussion about Hal Rogers, and I have to say, they've asked me to introduce him, and they've only given me 15 minutes, and the list of accomplishments is only partial, but I would recommend that you head to the restroom, get refreshments, maybe smoke a cigar or two, because the list is extraordinary. But before we start, I'd like to do a blend of Italian and country and bluegrass here. So I'm going to have Ray McClain come out from the McClain Family Band and Family Orchestra, and also a friend of mine by the name of James Valenti. And James is a renowned opera singer, sung at the Metropolitan Opera in New York and La Scala in Milan and the Royal Opera House in London and also in Paris. And he has appeared a few times in Somerset, Kentucky. And now he's going to appear on our stage with Ray McClain, and he's going to honor one of the most remarkable sons of Kentucky, Hal Rogers, with a very special song, which I think you all know. So Ray and James.
The sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the people are gay. The corn tops ripe and the meadows in the bloom, while the birds make music all the day. The young floor, all merry, all happy and bright. By hard times comes a knocking at the door. Then my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home. For my old Kentucky home, far away. Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home. For my old Kentucky home, far away. For my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home, for my old Kentucky home, far
That was okay, wasn't it? Yeah, it was James and Ray. They've played several times together, and it's really an interesting blend of bluegrass and opera. And you don't always think that kind of thing can work, but they're great musicians, and every time they sing together, it's really very special. So now I've been asked for a really interesting task here, which is to introduce Hal Rogers, Chairman Rogers. And I said, well, you know, I'm pretty familiar with his background. Can you give me a list of the things he's accomplished in Eastern Kentucky and Kentucky since 1980, when he was first elected to Congress, and now it's 42 years. Well, the list is astonishing, and it's frankly remarkable, and it's only a partial list. And I thought he's unique in interesting ways. I first met him in 2016, and I've had the interesting fortune over the course of my adult life to meet many elected officials. And Hal is really interesting from a rare perspective. He listens a lot, and probably listens way more than he talks, which is a pretty unique trait in a lot of officials in Washington. And he doesn't really tout too much the things he does, and also pretty interesting. So I said, let me see a specific list of things he's accomplished. And frankly, it's too long to read. I'm going to read some of it just to give you a sense of specifically what he's accomplished, and which can only reflect, and I wrote a note to myself here, pure passion for the people of his district. It's remarkable. It's 42 years. And I don't think anybody works this hard for this long unless it's out of love, because he doesn't tout himself enough for it to be glory. I think he just really cares a lot for the people of this district and how they live their lives. So I'll give you some examples. And again, this is a partial list. So let's begin. And I don't normally read as a speaker, but the list is too long for me to have memorized. So let's begin with the Mountain Arts Center. Note the address, 50 Hal Rogers Drive. I love the fact that, you know, Hal's alive and kicking and working really hard, and they're already naming stuff after him. You know, normally you have to be gone for 20 years before they name stuff after you, but there's highways, buildings, and it's amazing. So note the address, 50 Hal Rogers Drive, funded by an earmark after Lucy Kinzer and Billie Jean Osborne approached Congressman Rogers. So with that approach, he went and grabbed the money out of DC. Flood projects in Harlan, Bell, Floyd, Johnson, Knox, Whitley, and a study occurring in Beattyville about flood control. Eastern Kentucky Pride, which Hal created along with some other folks, but I think it was his inspiration, cleaned up thousands of garbage dumps, provided wastewater and septic systems to over 20,000 individuals. He's made it his life's mission to provide clean water for Eastern Kentucky. Last year's budget included money for Prestonsburg, Williamsburg, Perry County, and the Buckhorn area, and Knox County to make water service improvements. The budget before that included funding for Martin and Leslie counties. Then the drug epidemic. Hal was probably one of the first people to recognize and become aware of what was going on with opioids. And the story is interesting. I said to him, Hal, what moved you or motivated you with this drug thing? And he said, well, I was reading the paper in Somerset, and there was an article about a rash of drug overdoses in the Somerset Hospital. So it's not far from my house. I went down to the emergency room and asked the doctors what was going on. And they said, there's something going on with opioids. And from that, he came up with Operation Unite, and also did the first bill in Congress making Americans aware about the opioid problem, which has led to, I think, the recent drug seminar and thing that goes on in Atlanta every year, which has now, I think, the last 3 presidents or 4 presidents have shown up, and now probably hundreds of millions of dollars have gone into addressing this issue. But he was the first one through Operation Unite and building Chad's Hope, West Care treatment facilities that have helped thousands of people in Eastern Kentucky. That's the theme, thousands of people. Unite built the first voucher program in the country and the National Drug and Illicit Drug Abuse Summit, the largest gathering in the country to tackle the deadly drug epidemic. And I asked him about it probably 8 or 10 months ago, and I said, what do you think? He said, we have not done enough. We're nowhere near yet successful. Broadband kicked off the Kentucky Wired Project, which brings high-speed, high-capacity internet service to every county in the Commonwealth. And I have, as the CEO of Ragent Corporation, we opened and built a new building in Moorhead, Kentucky, and we would not have done it had there not been this high-speed broadband capability. Rogers Scholars, students from all over Southern and Eastern Kentucky have participated in this program. Colleges and universities have made available $2 million a year to these students. Challenger Learning Center in Hazard, the first rural center of its kind with the mission to get students interested in math and science at a young age. Hal Rogers has helped with the initial funding through an earmark to establish the center. The Deep Space Edition Antenna at Moorhead State University, which established the Space and Science Center. And I personally located Ragent in Moorhead because of the Space and Science Center. When you added the broadband wireless capability, it made it easy to make the decision to come here. This facility is the 4th node on NASA's deep space network. And those students as undergraduates in that program, of which there's only 4 or 5 in the United States similar, they actually hand build satellites. They design them, they write the software, they design the hardware, they do the power supplies, they do the antenna design. And I think I now have probably 18 or 19 of those graduates working for Rajan Corporation. That facility would not be there except for the money that Hal Rogers brought to bring the antenna there. So one more example. The Appalachian Valley Autism Center, treating children with autism in Pikeville and Prestonburg, so their families don't have to travel to Lexington or Cincinnati for the treatment that they deserve and need. Pikeville Medical Center's Children's Hospital, the only children's hospital in the region, and Congressman Rogers generated the monies to make that possible. $3.5 million for equipment for the nursing school at Moorhead. Healthcare jobs are important to the region, and they're able to train nurses and other healthcare related skills at Moorhead because of that kind of earmark. Hal has an affinity for highways and secured funding for many of them. Currently underway is US 25 from 461 to exit 62 in Rockcastle County. In the 2023 budget, there's $7 million for roadway improvements and rockfall mitigation work in Pike County. There's the Cumberland Gap Tunnel, $180 million project, cutting through a mountain between Middlesboro and Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, to bypass the road known as Massacre Mountain, which sounds like a road you want to bypass. In addition to roads, education, and healthcare, he's put a heavy emphasis on tourism through the years. So here's some of the things that Hal has gotten money for. Chairman Rogers, Letcher County will benefit from a Raven Rock Trails Development Program. Floyd County has a world-class trail system which turned an 11-mile abandoned railroad track into a walking trail from the city of Prestonburg to the city of David. On top of that, Country Music Highway has been granted funding for a workforce and tourism development project. Magoffin County received money to create a gateway corridor along the Mountain Parkway. The Royalton Trail Town development also received funding from the program Hal created. Clay and McCreary counties have received assistance to develop an RV campground. Boones Ridge, state-of-the-art wildlife education center in Bell County that is expected to draw thousands of tourists to the Cumberland Valley area. The Forum in Hazard, Kentucky, a new facility focused on the arts and used for training purposes for the region. Clay County has received funding for a downtown marketplace to provide the community and visitors with space to engage in activities centered around education, music, culture, and the arts. Jackson County has world-class broadband service and has people moving into the area because of it. True to fashion, he is in the process of creating a business incubator in the former jail where startups can locate. Now, I'm not sure if a startup wants to locate in a jail, but if you do, there's money for it, and Chairman Rogers got the money. Congressman Rogers has always supported law enforcement. He wrote into the federal budget $859,000 for Johnson County first responders to have a communication system, which will help with faster response times and help keep first responders safe with reliable communications. Moorhead received funding in the same federal budget to help build a new fire station, which will also contribute to faster response times. Morgan County is receiving $3 million to fund the Eastern Kentucky Advanced Manufacturing Institute and also the Advanced Robotic Instruction Project. This is on top of advanced CNC machinery training, which leads to new jobs for young people. There's a consular center in Whitley County that uses world-class facial recognition to find terrorists that are trying to enter the country. Harlan County has a premier Boys and Girls Club that Congressman Roger raised money for and helped along the way. In addition, Harlan is receiving funding for a natural gas infrastructure to the business park. The Kentucky Enterprise Industrial Park received funding and now holds Wright Concrete and employs several Eastern Kentuckians. It goes on and on. So I think the point is he got elected to Congress with Ronald Reagan as president in 1980. 42 years later, he's still doing his work. What does he like to say? Plan your work and work your plan. And so I just consider what he's done over 42 years to be remarkable public service. It's clear he loves the people of Eastern Kentucky. I noticed that years ago when I was at a few events with him, and he can't walk 4 feet without somebody saying hello and remembering this or remembering that. It's really quite astonishing. So I call it a love affair that he has with Eastern Kentucky, and I think it's reciprocated. I think the folks of Eastern Kentucky love him back. And so it's really a very special relationship, and I think the region has been extraordinarily fortunate to have a man so dedicated to whatever he can do to benefit the people that live here. And it's my honor to introduce Hal Rogers and recognize him for SOAR's Lifetime Achievement Award. And I'd like all of you to also recognize Hal Rogers as well as a man who has worked very hard on the behalf of all of us who have a connection to the region. So Hal Rogers, winner of the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you. Thank you. Bob Skeena, thank you so much for that very brief introduction. Bob Skeena, I've got to tell you about this man. Philadelphia, came to Kentucky looking for a place to locate his company as an extension of the offices in Philadelphia. He came in touch with my field representative and was shown Moorhead among other places, and they fell in love with Moorhead. And Regent now has their manufacturing facilities there, expanding as we speak. He travels worldwide with his company, and they make cube satellites and miniature radios for everybody. And that caused Moorhead State to start offering a degree in space science. Moorhead, Kentucky. And those students now can get a degree in space science. They're managing satellites, they're making them, they're managing them, and all of the things that go with that. It's an amazing facility. I'm taking the head of NASA there, Bill Nelson, very shortly to Moorhead to show him what Moorhead State University and the community and the state are doing to help the space program. So congratulations to Bob Skeena and Regent for being great Kentuckians now. And Regent is sort of leading the pack into Silicon Holler because we're pushing broadband, because I think that is the secret that East Kentucky needs to be competitive in the world. I tell businesses we're recruiting, I tell them about the amazing talent that's here. We've got these laid off coal mine people who are great mechanics who have a desire to stay here, and they will work for you, and the work ethic of Eastern Kentuckians cannot be beat anywhere in the country. And I hear that from people who have plants here and other places. What is it about East Kentucky that we all love? That's a tough question. There's a lot of things that we could mention. But I think the word spirit is important when you talk about East Kentucky. You've come through thick and thin, time and again. One of those bad times was when we were losing our coal mining jobs by the day. Every day, thousands laid off at such and so mine. And the state was reeling. East Kentucky was hurting, bleeding. Such that I went to see the governor, at that time Steve Beshear, talking about the problem and how can we ever solve this predicament that we're in. And we agreed, finally, to call a summit of people from throughout East Kentucky to open their mind and heart and talk to each other about what can we do. I wanted to be sure that East Kentuckians were deciding to pull themselves out of the disaster that we were in. So we called a summit in Pikeville in December for a such and so date. And we showed up in Pikeville in a blizzard. How many of you were there at that time? A bunch of you. And out of that summit where 1,000 or 1,800 people came, spent the day in a blizzard talking about what we can do to solve our problem. And out of that came SOAR, shaping our Appalachian region. The idea was to open our eyes, ears, and to plan, to invest our own ideas in what we want to see East Kentucky do. And that's what SOAR is all about. And I want to thank you, those members of SOAR on the board and otherwise, who spend time talking about our problem, their problem, and through it all is this spirit that keeps showing itself in Eastern Kentuckians. I mean, you've come through a lot from the Civil War on down. First, we lost the timber industry. Now we've lost the coal industry. We lost tobacco, which was a big part of the income of that time. We've been hit by natural disasters untold, from floods to earthquakes, tornadoes, and the like, wiping us almost off the face of the earth, and yet here you come back. Here you come back. And you tackle the problem, whatever it is. The problem now, of course, is economic development, providing jobs for our people to hold them here. And we're seeing things like Radiant take hold. Radiant loves the place because the workers are so true and talented and willing to work with a great work ethic. That's our sales pitch all over the world. And we're seeing some good results. You've seen them here today even, from these communities that are retooling, polishing up the facts, and making good things take place. I love Eastern Kentucky because of this spirit, this never say die spirit. I like the fact that you came here today dressed to the nines to show the world, hey, we're here, we're together, we've got some great ideas, we've got some great talent, and we're going to make some good things happen. The good things being, we can stay here where we want to live. I remember out of high school in Wayne County in 1955, I followed an older brother to Cincinnati looking for a job, like we've all had to do. I was too young, I was 17. We were in a recession. I pounded the pavements, applied it everywhere, to no avail. Came back home, wound up in college. But I wanted to come back to my home area. John Y. Brown, big lawyer at the time, I law clerked for him during law school. He liked what I did. And when I graduated from law school, he wanted me to go to Louisville, open up a branch office with John Y. Brown Jr., who at the time was selling encyclopedia, but John Y. wanted his son to be practicing law. Well, I thought about it for a good while, but I wanted to go back to my home area, which I did. Left John Y. Brown in the lurch. And boy, he told me every time I would see him in later years, you made a bad mistake. And I guess I did. Because he, as you know, started Kentucky Fried Chicken worldwide. But this area draws you. We all love this area. It's home. It's beautiful. But it has this wonderful spirit that won't let you go. And so I thank you for being a part of SOAR. This is our chance to soar. This is our chance to solve our problem ourselves with our talent and our capabilities and our love. So you're making a difference. Some good things are happening, and thank you, Colby Hall, for SOAR doing this, because this gives us a chance to sit back and say, hey, we've got some good stuff going, and we're capable of doing it. So we'll show you. That's what you're doing. You're showing us that you can make it happen. And I salute you. Cynthia and I are delighted to be with you today, but we'll be here when you need us anytime. So one word as I pass from the stage. Keep up your good work. The word is Godspeed. Bless you.
Chairman Rogers, we have one more surprise for you.
You know, when I was standing backstage listening to all the things that the congressman had done, it made me think about the old television series with Steve Austin, the $1 Million Man. If that's the case, Hal Rogers is the $1 billion man when it comes to our region. You know, one of the things the congressman always said is a vision without funding is the definition of insanity. And when I talked earlier about the CMH 23 project coming from the very first SOAR meeting and the motivation from Congressman Rogers, SOAR talks about partnerships. None of that could have ever happened with the CMH 23 project had we not had a partner, and they have no idea I'm going to say this, Appalachian Wireless, the East Kentucky Network. They have been a partner for the last 6 years moving the project, starting with their former CEO and our chairman of the board, Alan Gillum, and now the new CEO and our new chairman of the board, Mike Johnson. And Mike, would you stand up for me? Thank you. And I got to tell you something, they have done this quietly behind the scenes only because they felt like it would improve and enrich the country music highway and the region. I'm at a point now I get to introduce someone that is special to me, Mayor Les Stapleton. I've known the mayor for 40 plus years. It doesn't look like it with my white hair, but 40 some years ago, I played a little basketball, and this guy played a little basketball, and he was one of the most fierce competitors that I ever met on the basketball court. We've kept a friendship, and when I came to him, of all things on the golf course, go figure that, about the CMH 23 project, I cornered him and I said, I've got an idea, and he was mayor. I said, it's an idea that's going to help Ashland, it's going to help Harlan, it's going to help Letcher County, it's going to help Knott County. And I said, think about Knott County. They have the horse trail ride. They get 20,000 people. If we promote them, they could come over to Floyd County and eat in the restaurants and stay in the hotels. And the mayor said, you had me at hello. He has been on our board of directors of the CMH 23. He has been an absolute great mayor and a great advocate of Eastern Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Les Stapleton.
Thank you all. That's not necessary at all. First off, I want to thank Congressman Rogers. This building would not be here without him. 27 years ago when they started building on this building, he was approached and he understood the talent, the culture and stuff that we have, and he wanted to showcase it, and we have a beautiful place. I've been asked to introduce and it's really, house band is the term that's used for them, but they are much more than a house band. They could play anywhere they want, anytime they want. They're called to play. That some of them have toured nationally and internationally. We have our band, the Opry Band, is from ages of 18. I think Clark is 18. He's 18. And then we have Jody and Mark, who is 18 plus 18 plus 18 plus 18. Yeah. So, you know, they're a wonderful group. And we have two major shows we do throughout the year. One of them starts in July. It's our summer show. It will rival any show you've ever seen. I promise you that. The talent is unbelievable. Then we also have a show in Christmas. We would love for y'all to come back and watch us, watch our shows. You can find us on MacArts, MACARTS.com. We have the events, we have plays, we have the amphitheater going on. We do a lot through the Mountain Arts Center, but the highlight of our year is their summer show and their winter show. But I want to tell you real quickly about their talent. I watched this group right here and never heard this song because the lady had never played it in front of anyone. They watched her play it. They listened to her play it. In an hour and a half, they charted this song, the entire song, and played it flawlessly as her backup. That's talent. That's what we have in East Kentucky. That's what we try to showcase. But please, we got two young ladies who are going to come out and sing in a minute. Enjoy their music. You will never find anybody that can rival their talent. Our Opry Band.
Thank you, Mayor. You know, we're really proud that we're 33 years since the inception of Kentucky Opry. And the primary goal here at the Mountain Arts Center is to give local musicians, singers, a place to develop, learn, and grow their musical and technical ability. We do music education, live performance. We mentor our kids. And we're just now scratching the surface of what we want to do for the next generation of performers here at the MAC. And with that being said, I want to introduce to you a young man that he's a prime example of everything I just said. Where'd he go? Yeah, there he is. He's been a member of the Kentucky Opry Junior Pros for 9 years. For the last 3 seasons, he's played with the Junior Pros and with the Kentucky Opry. He will begin attending Belmont University School of Music program this fall in Nashville, Tennessee. And we're going to feature him on drums on this next song for you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're very proud to introduce, stand up there, young man, Clark Judd. We'll rock a little bit. I don't want to be anything other than a prison guard's son. I don't need to be anything other than a special ed son. I don't have to be anything other than the birth of 2 souls in one. Part of where I'm going is knowing where I'm coming from. I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is be in my peace of mind. I'm tired of looking around and wondering what I got to do, who I'm supposed to be. I don't want to be anything other than me. Well, I'm surrounded by liars everywhere I turn. I'm surrounded by imposters everywhere I turn. I'm surrounded by identity crisis everywhere I turn. Am I the only one that knows? I can't be the only one who learns. I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of me and my peace of mind. I'm tired of looking down and wondering what I gotta do, who I'm supposed to be. I don't want to be anything other than me. Can I have everyone's attention, please? If you're not like this or that, you're going to have to leave. I came from the mountain, the crust of creation. My whole situation turned from a crust on. Now I'm telling everybody, I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of me, my peace of mind. Tired of looking around and wondering what I gotta do, who I'm supposed to be. I don't want to be anything other than me. I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of me, my peace of mind. Tired of looking around and Thank you all so much.
Please welcome President and CEO of the Pritchard Committee for Academic Excellence, Bridget Blom.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and fellow educators. It is my immense honor to be here this evening at the SOAR Gala, where we come together to celebrate the remarkable individuals who work tirelessly to uplift our Appalachian region. As the president and CEO of the Pritchard Committee for Academic Excellence, I'm grateful for the opportunity to present the Eastern Kentucky Teacher of the Year Award. For 40 years, the Pritchard Committee has been committed to improving teaching and learning in Kentucky. The impact teachers have in their classrooms and in their communities cannot be understated. We know teaching matters most when it comes to improving student outcomes, and we've seen firsthand how educators can influence the expectations their communities hold for educational improvement. Tonight, we honor an exceptional educator who embodies these very principles. Dr. Haridas, affectionately known as Doc by his friends and colleagues, has inspired countless students and given back to his community in immeasurable ways. Having received more nominations than any winner tonight, it's clear that Doc's impact spans across current students, former students, colleagues, and community members. For over 24 years, he's dedicated himself to teaching at Belfry High School, where he has left an indelible mark. Dr. Haridas is affectionately known as Doc by his friends and colleagues, and he's inspired countless students and given back to his community in immeasurable ways. Dr. Haridas' commitment to excellence is evident in his launching of the school's nationally recognized robotics team. As a champion for STEM education, he's been a beacon of inspiration at his school, across the Commonwealth, and even across the nation. His unwavering dedication to empowering the next generation of leaders through education is truly commendable. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to present the Eastern Kentucky Teacher of the Year Award to Dr. Haridas.
I don't know what to say now. Really happy to receive this award. I'd like to thank SOAR, Kentucky Power, and Pritchard Committee for nominating me as well as giving me the award. I'd like to thank my students for this. Without their dedication, I would not have received this, because they have done an excellent job throughout my 23 years here. I'd like to thank my colleagues as well as the administration for putting up with me in the school system. And thank you so much, really appreciate it.
Please welcome President and CEO of Hazard Community and Technical College, Dr. Jennifer Linden.
Hello. As president of Hazard Community and Technical College, I'm honored to represent the Kentucky Community and Technical College system to present the Student of the Year Award. Hazard is one of 16 colleges that make up the KCTCS system, and collectively, we are the largest provider of higher education across the Commonwealth. Hazard, Big Sandy, Southeast, Ashland, Maysville, and Somerset are all part of the SOAR region, and we have worked together with SOAR on numerous projects and initiatives. The Student of the Year Award is presented to an individual student or group of students who have displayed academic and community excellence. Early on, SOAR received a nomination from Laditra Morgan with Mountain View Elementary, and she spoke about an 8th grade leadership team at her school, and she spoke about how they have really excelled, not only academically, but also to support their community. They have held numerous fundraisers to help with community projects such as park beautification, new benches, new flowers in the parks, many holiday events in Hyden and Leslie County. So this group of students has really excelled. Not only do we want to recognize Mountain View Elementary Leadership Team students, I also want to recognize another student from Leslie County. Mr. Logan Sizemore is a sophomore at Leslie County High School. He has worked with the Mountain View students, but he has also worked to establish an FAA chapter at his school. He has worked with the community in providing vegetables and other items that he grew out of his garden during the pandemic and provided to community and local businesses. He also is the youngest elected official in the state of Kentucky. So please join me in welcoming these future leaders to the stage. We have the 8th grade leadership team at Mountain View Elementary, and also Mr. Logan Sizemore, who I believe is off the stage. So please come on up and come forward.
It's hard not to get emotional up here, but I would like to thank SOAR for giving me this award, and for my family that's here with me tonight, and of the hard work and dedication that I put in to not only my county and community, but also to the state that I belong to. Some of the things that have been mentioned I would like to touch on. The FFA chapter that is being put in my high school will start next semester. And before it was approved, we were one of the 4 or 5 counties in the state that did not have an FFA program. And before I come up here, there was a person in the back that was telling me that he had served 13 years in the Navy SEALs overseas. And he just wanted me, when I got up here, to stand up right and speak my mind. And I just wanted to let everyone know that there's a fight out there for the agriculture community, that there are people out there that have been serving in that group for more than 30 years and can easily retire. But they are hardworking enough that they are still working to provide for all of us that are here today. And that there are people that are up and coming that are willing to take their place. But there's so much of a gap that we need more and more each day to help them. And I just want to will everyone to, if there's anyone you know that would possibly go into that field, to please encourage them, because we need it. Thank you.
Please welcome Creative Media of Kentucky CEO John Roberts.
It's an honor being part of the SOAR Gala today and being able to present the East Kentucky Tourism Organization of the Year Award. My partner Keith Casebolt and I, we enjoy working with local and state tourism groups, along with a host of other clients in Eastern and Central Kentucky, and sharing their message of the region to the state and surrounding states. Creative Media of Kentucky is a full-service agency and extension of Casebolt Marketing in Pikeville, and we often tell our clients we want to be an extension of their companies to help them reach their goals and find success. We want to be a creative solution to them. It's now time to discuss the success of our award winner today, who is Backroads of Appalachia. Backroads of Appalachia is a nonprofit organization working to establish Appalachia, Kentucky as a motorsports destination. This organization is taking the message far and wide, establishing more than 25 trails and taking enthusiasts on a thrilling and breathtaking journey through Appalachia, Kentucky. This, coupled with our region's warm hospitality, has brought countless events to communities and thousands of tourists and motorsports enthusiasts, and is creating a significant economic impact. I think you'll agree that this is quite an accomplishment. Please join me in recognizing Backroads of Appalachia as the East Kentucky Tourism Organization of the Year.
Before I get this, so I don't want to know that I've been here, let me take a quick picture. Thank you, John. Thank you, SOAR. True honor. Most importantly, it's a true honor for Kentucky to believe in a new ideal. And flourishing in an ideal I had a long time ago was with my organization, Backroads of Appalachia. We had the best roads and the best people in the country to bring in tourism through motorsports. People wanted to go on curvy mountain roads to enjoy themselves. And my job is to get them tired, thirsty, and hungry to land in our little communities from the downturn cove to start stimulating growth. And that's exactly what we've done. Through business modeling and planning with SOAR, it's really took off. So much so that I would never thought, number one, I'd be on this stage, but number two, that I would not be a railroad employee. I am now executive director instead of director. And my job is now to drive as much traffic as possible to all of Eastern Kentucky. And I am honored, and I take this very seriously. And I thank you. Real quick on Congressman Hal Rogers, and I'll be done. Growing up as a son of a paralyzed coal miner, my Granny Hubbard's was inspiration to me. Every Christmas, we got Christmas cards. And if everybody remembers, you hung them up on your wall or whatever. Jesus was always on top until the Hal Rogers Christmas card came in, and she would put him right there beside of him, not on top of it. You know, so for Congressman Hal Rogers, for what he has done for our people from the downturn of coal, is truly astonishing. And the old saying is, wherever I may roam, Eastern Kentucky will always be my home. Called me back to Eastern Kentucky. For 22 years, I called Tennessee home. Because when I was growing up, I was told to leave. I joined the United States military, did my time, and then I did my time on the railroad beside the interstate. So what Eastern Kentucky is doing as a whole, thanks to guidance from SOAR and other organizations, is truly astonishing that made me lead back to home and put my roots back at home. So thank you all so much.
Well, as you guys can tell, the music's a big theme of the event tonight. And how about we give another round of applause to the folks on stage for... The Country Music Highway is home to Billy Ray Cyrus, Ricky Skaggs, Patty Loveless, Dwight Yoakam, Winona Judd, the late Naomi Judd, Keith Whitley, and Loretta Lynn. All these folks blazed and continue to blaze the trail for the current stars of the highway. That includes Chris Stapleton, Tyler Childers, and many others. You know, last year, SOAR launched a country music highway tribute show as part of a summit in Ashland, Kentucky. The idea caught on and really caught fire. And so we're super excited to announce the Country Music Highway Tribute Show presented by Double Quick for this summer, where we're gonna host free outdoor concerts in downtown Paintsville on July 29th, Whitesburg on August the 12th, and a paid show here, back here at the MAC, the Mountain Arts Center, on August 19th. These outdoor shows are gonna feature food trucks and concessions, arts and crafts, and activities for kids. In this Country Music Highway Tribute Show, it's a collaboration between tourism commissions all along the highway. Greenup County, Boyd County, Ashland, Lawrence County, Paintsville, Prestonsburg, Pike County, and Letcher County, as well as the Mountain Arts Center, the Paramount Arts Center, and CMH 23. And again, we also wanted to really be thankful for our anchor partner, Double Quick. So at these shows, we're going to showcase local artists paying homage to the stars of the highway while also playing their own original content. All money raised is going to help sustain this effort going forward. It is going to be reinvested back into organizations supporting and promoting arts and music along the highway. So please visit cmhtributeshow.com to learn more about the shows. And we're going to give you a little sneak peek of what to expect and what's to come at the Country Music Highway Tribute Show later this summer. So please join me again in welcoming Billie Jean Osborne's Kentucky Opry.
Girl, you taught me how to hurt real bad and cry myself to sleep. Show me how this town would shatter a dream. Another lesson about a naive fool who came to Babylon and found out that the pie don't taste so sweet. Now it's guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music, the lonely, lonely street that I call home. Well, my guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music, the only thing that keeps me hanging on. Kentucky Opry Band. Well, it's guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music, the lonely, lonely street that I call home. Well, my guitars, Cadillacs, and hillbilly music, the only thing that keeps me hanging on. It's the only thing that keeps me hanging on. The only thing that keeps me hanging on. I'm no stranger to the rain. I'm a friend of thunder, friend isn't any wonder. Lightning strikes me. I fought with the devil, got down on his level, but I never gave in, so he gave up on me. I'm no stranger to the rain. I can spot bad weather, and I'm good at finding shelter in a downpour. I've been sacrificed by brothers, crucified by lovers, but through it all I withstood the pain. I'm no stranger to the rain. When I get that foggy feeling, when I'm feeling down, I keep my head up, I may drown. But it's hard to keep believing I'll even come out even when the rain beats your hope into the ground. And tonight it's really coming down. I'm no stranger to the rain, but there'll always be tomorrow, and I'll make still borrow a little sunshine. And I'll put this cloud behind me, that's how a man designed me, to ride the wind and dance in the hurricane. I'm no stranger to the rain, oh no. I'm no stranger to the rain.
Tell me about the good old days. Sometimes it feels like this world's gone crazy. And Grandpa, take me back to yesterday, when the lines between right and wrong didn't seem so hazy. Did lovers really fall in love to stay and stand beside each other come what may? Was a promise really something people get, not just something that they say? Did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days.
I see the sunrise creeping in. Everything changes like desert wind. Here she comes and then she's gone again. And I've been traveler on this earth. Sure, my heart's behind the pocket of my shirt. I just keep rolling till I'm in the dirt, 'cause I'm a traveler, oh, I'm a traveler. Well, I couldn't tell you, honey, I don't know where I'm going, but I've got to go. 'Cause every turn there's a song, oh, traveler. Oh, I'm a traveler. My heartbeat's rhythm is a lonesome sound, just like the rubber turning on the ground. Always lost and going now. I'm just a traveler on this earth. Sure as my heart's behind the pocket of my shirt. I just keep rolling till I'm in the dirt, 'cause I'm a traveler. Oh, I'm a traveler. I couldn't tell you, honey, I don't know where I'm going, but I've got to go. 'Cause every turn reveals some other road, and I'm a traveler. Oh, I'm a traveler.
Well, I was born a coal miner's daughter in a cabin on a hill in Butcher Holler. We were poor, but we had love. That's the one thing that Daddy made sure of. He shoveled coal to make a poor man's dollar. Daddy worked all night in the Vanderleer coal mines, all day long in the field of hoeing corn. Mommy rocked the babies at night and read the Bible by the coal light. Everything would start all over come break of morn. Daddy raised 8 kids on a miner's pay. Mommy washed our clothes on a washboard every day. Well, I've seen her fingers bleed. To complain, there was no need. She would smile in Mommy's understanding way. In the summertime, we didn't have shoes to wear. But in the wintertime, we'd all get a brand new pair. From a mail-order catalog, money made from selling our hog. Daddy always managed to get the money somewhere. Yeah, I'm proud to be a coal miner's daughter. I remember it well, the well where I drew water. The work we done was hard, and we would sleep 'cause we weren't tired. I thought I'd never ever leave Butcher Holler. But a lot of things have changed since way back then. Oh, and it's so good to be back home again. Not much love here but the folks. Nothing lives here anymore. Just the memories of coal miner's daughter.
Please welcome Pikeville Medical Center President and CEO, Donovan Blackburn.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. You know, I was thinking, listening to the program today, before that you can appreciate the day and appreciate what SOAR does, you have to really understand the history. And though we heard a lot of that today when we heard the Congressman Rogers stand up and speak, but I want to ad-lib a little bit to that. You know, before that I became CEO of Pikeville Medical Center, I was the city manager for the city of Pikeville for about 13 and a half years. And during that tenure, I got a call one day from the congressman that said, you know, we're thinking about this program, and we've got a group at the Department for Local Government that's going to meet. I would like for you to go down with Karen Kelly and represent Eastern Kentucky so that we have a voice. And what we really want to do is we want to create a catalyst, an opportunity to start talking about how Eastern Kentucky can be invested in itself and create opportunity. So I went down and I met with the cabinet there at DLG, and we had some really good discussion about what later became SOAR. So we fast forward and we talk about the blizzard that the congressman mentioned a moment ago. And during that blizzard, we, working for the city, I kind of assisted with the event. And as the event went on, at the very end of the event, the congressman came over and he said, Donovan, you know, we've got this movement now going, and I'd like for you to consider being the managing director for SOAR. And I said, well, Congressman, I have a job. And he said, well, I know, but it's not paid. And I said, well, okay. So I took the position, not paid, and it grew into what it is today. But the rest of it is it kind of paves a pathway where I am today, is that there was a few partners that as I left, and they actually hired their first executive director, they decided at that point to go out and solicit corporate partners, like Pikeville Medical Center being the first one, which brought in revenue along with many grants to be able to pave the foundation and create the way that, as up to what SOAR has certainly become today. You know, I have, when you heard several of the projects that the congressman has been involved in, and that list goes way on. I know from the 13 and a half years I served in my previous capacity, I know a lot of the projects that Eastern Kentucky received due to the congressman's hard work. But it goes beyond that, it really does. And that when you look at Pikeville Medical Center, in my tenure of the last 5 years, we have built a heart and cancer center, we built a children's hospital, we have built the autism center, and I could go on and on and on, which has brought healthcare at a different level and a different standard to those in Eastern Kentucky. So we're very, very proud of that. And during my tenure over the last 20 years, I have really based a lot of my leadership on two really good pieces of advice. One, which Keith Casebolt, my good friend, mentioned earlier, which was from the congressman. And again, a vision without funding is certainly a delusion. And then the second one came from Paul Patton, which was, you don't get if you don't ask, and if you get everything you ask for, you didn't ask for enough. So with that said, if the congressman's still out in the audience, I just want to let him know that we have applied for a couple of AML grants, and we have great vision still at Pikeville Medical Center. So anyway, with that said, it is my great honor tonight to present this next award, not only because of the type of award it is, just because of who I'm getting to present it to, are dear friends of mine. So without further ado, this award recognizes an individual, group, or organization advocating for better health outcomes by addressing health disparities in Appalachia, Kentucky. Pharmacy is an innovative nutrition program made possible by the support of Mountain Comprehensive Health Corporation and its partners at the Whitesburg Letcher County Farmers Market, Owsley County Farmers Market, and the Leatherwood Farmers Market in Perry County. Pharmacy provides increased access to local growth fruits and vegetables through prescription by physicians to fresh fruit and vegetables through the program's token system. Tokens are distributed weekly to purchase fresh fruit and vegetables. This supports good eating habits, addresses health disparities, and supports local farmers and producers. Community Agricultural Nutrition Enterprises, or Kane Kitchen, is a commercial kitchen established to provide new markets and increase the agricultural footprint in Letcher and surrounding counties. Housed in the former Whitesburg High School, the 9,000 square foot kitchen is leased to Kane Kitchen by MCHC, which provides the organization with a 20-year lease at $1 a year. A unique program within the organization is its work and its local farmers produce leftover produce from their local farmer market. This eliminates food waste and allows farmers to utilize the space to scale up the local food system and grow to help meet the demands of the regional and even national food systems. You can see that these two organizations are doing incredible work to impact their communities and improve the quality of life for those who reside there. It is my great honor to present the SOAR Health Communities Award to Pharmacy and Kane Kitchens.
Thank you. I'm humbled to be here today, humbled by the giants that we've seen march across before us and that will be marching across after us. I really don't have much to say because my friend Donovan has pretty well said everything and probably expanded on it a little bit like I would have anyway. I will say this, for all these planning and all the things that goes on, let me take a serious moment and take you back to July the 28th, 2022, when the good Lord gave us rain in abundance that we've never seen before. And in Letcher County, Knott County, Breathitt County, Perry County, we flooded. We didn't flood a little. We didn't see it rise like we do every year. We were absolutely covered up. Rivers that had never gotten up before got up. Land that had never seen a flood before was flooded under. Houses was swept away. I have to tell this one tale. Brandon's with me. I was showing him a picture in McRoberts of these two mobile homes swept off of their foundation. And Brandon says, I know those people. When they got in to rescue them, the man was bedridden and his wife was holding his head above the floodwaters to keep him from drowning. And that's what we had. And that's just an example of it. I say that half of my employees was rescuing people with using their kayaks and fishing boats and what they had to. The other half of my employees was being rescued by people in fishing boats and kayak and what have you. But the water got up. The water threatened the rest home. There's people in there that do not have the way to get out. They were brought out with boats. They were brought out on floats. They were brought out on backs. They were taken to Kane Kitchen, and that became the central point of the early rescue efforts. They received clothing. My board of directors gets a very nice jacket every year. My executive secretary guards those things like they're gold, and she absolutely hit the roof because there's not a one of them there, because somebody took every one of them and closed those people from the nursing home because they were in big clothes and everything else. Board of directors says the best present they ever got for Christmas. So Kane Kitchen stood there. They stood there as the immediate place for relief, and they continued to be there. 175,000 meals was given out to people affected by the flood, rescue workers, victims, those that wanted to help. It was there 7 days a week, and it would not have been there without my partners over here. Mr. Brandon Fleming was there day in, day out, making sure that flood victims and rescue workers were fed. There would not have been a Kane, there would not have been a pharmacy program without Ms. Valerie Horn here. In this life, it takes three things to be a success. You got to have a planner, you got to have a dreamer, and you got to have a doer. We're lucky to have all three in Miss Valerie Horn. And there's something else. She may think that I helped. I did put up some money, gave some space. You know, anybody could have done that. But let me tell you who really helped. And let me tell you who we really celebrate here today. We celebrate the good Lord for putting us there to be able to rescue and to help in the rescue of all these people. And that's who we should thank. And with that, thank you very much.
Cannot say anymore. Just want to say thank you. Thank you for those of you who are here. There are so many that have played a part in supporting all the work that is growing, happening to make a stronger and healthier community in Whitesburg. Shout out to our city of Whitesburg. That's the fiscal sponsor for the farmers market. We invite you all there. And I'm just grateful to be here and be a part of it. One last thing, I recognize my mom, Carol Eisen, and the red buds aren't red. And this is for all of us, that in Eastern Kentucky, we are so much more than what we may be stereotyped and others may see, and we are shining bright. Thank you all.
Please welcome Kentucky Innovation's Marilyn Laborvo.
Good afternoon. My name is Marilyn Laborvo. I'm a project manager in KY Innovation in the Kentucky Cabinet for Economic Development. KY Innovation focuses on ensuring that Kentucky entrepreneurs, innovators, and investors have all the resources, programs, connections, and information they need to grow and thrive in our state. Kentucky Innovation sponsors 6 hub offices across the state, including the SOAR Innovation Hub, led by Sabrina McWhorter, and our other wonderful partners at SOAR. We are proud to work with SOAR to support startups across Kentucky's Appalachian counties. In 2022, the SOAR team helped launch 17 new startups, advance 57 startups, and bring more than $100 million in new investments to the region. The Startup of the Year award is given to a small business startup that has launched or scaled and leveraged tech-based programs to reach customers beyond Appalachia, Kentucky through e-commerce or other platforms. You likely heard about New Frontier. If you haven't, let's learn more.
New Frontier started about 5 years ago. We started off really small. You know, we were selling hats out of the back of our Jeeps, hustling around Morehead State, you know, their campus, and then we built an online store, and from there we grew very slow, you know, into the brand that we are today. But New Frontier started out, you know, out of a garage, out of a Jeep, you know, hustling, you know, on a very small scale. So we built it brick by brick, you know, online store to getting onto Amazon now and being sold across the U.S. So those early days were very key and important to the growth we've seen today. It's being an entrepreneur in Appalachia and being from Appalachia is one of the coolest things to us, and we take a lot of pride in that because, you know, being from here, growing up here, not everybody gets to do something creative. They don't get to live out their dreams and chase them down. So we feel really lucky to be able to do that.
So at New Frontier, our mission is to bring sustainable wares and produce them in Appalachia and spread them globally. Each and every day we spread our Appalachian roots globally through what we do, and that just happens to be through clothing. As we progress into the future, you know, pivoting our compass towards a sustainable path into what we do is very important to us, and we're working towards that each and every day.
Yeah, and one would think you'd have to be in like a tech hub in, Austin or Brooklyn or Asheville to do something sustainable, futuristic in textiles, or even in that fashion lane. But we take a lot of pride in doing it here off the grid in East Kentucky, Appalachia. It's a great place to work from. We built our brand here, we're based here. Every time somebody gets a package from New Frontier, it says, proudly designed in Appalachia. Chasing dreams here is totally something that's doable. It's not a far off crazy thought that you can chase your dreams from Appalachia or be based from here. With COVID, I think we've all learned that you can work off the grid. You don't have to be, in the big city or anything like that, and we take a lot of pride in that. As far as challenges go and starting a business or being an entrepreneur in this region, I would say early on it was, reach and people, like being in a rural area, being off the grid, so to speak. You're not a huge city with a ton of connections and a lot of people, but the great thing is everybody's got the internet and social media is free. You can reach so many people through Instagram, Facebook, and our online store. Like, that's what's really helped us grow today, is putting a lot of eggs in that basket, working on our online store and keeping our socials clean, as we like to say. We put a lot of effort in that, and you could see that as an obstacle, not having a ton of reach of where you're at. But if you work hard in other areas, you could operate off the grid and not have to be in a huge tech hub or a big city. My advice to somebody starting a business or thinking about becoming an entrepreneur: be authentic. Don't be afraid to be yourself. We both have accents. I know that gets talked about a lot, but you'd be surprised. You go out west, you go to other places, we all know what they say, but that's what makes it, I feel like, makes us unique. I embrace that. That might sound corny, but that's one of the first things that, the bit of advice that I would give somebody, because, it's hard to replicate you. Be yourself and lean into your own voice. We started literally just from scratch. Had plenty of people tell us no, to not do this, and to, try something else. Some guy said we should go sell cars. Said there's more money in selling cars than starting an online brand. But, like the people at SOAR have been so helpful, with resources, advice. Many of them have been in the trenches, so to speak, and I feel like they are a great tool and source to use when you're thinking about starting something or you have questions about it.
New Frontier launched its circular denim, crafted with post-consumer recycled jeans on certified organic cotton, using 94% less water during manufacturing and reducing carbon emissions by 75% compared to typical jeans. New Frontier's collection is the most sustainable denim in the world, and it's being done right here in Appalachia, Kentucky. We are thrilled to present the SOAR Startup of the Year Award to New Frontier.
Thank you very much. Great video, by the way. Love the video. I don't know those guys. You, Jared? Just keep this brief here. Thank you, SOAR. Thank you, Hal Rogers, for your vision and leadership in Appalachia. And, Jared and I are just honored to be a small part in the story here in the region. And that's what drives us every day. So, again, thank you for this award. Thanks for considering us. And Sabrina and Marilyn with Kentucky Innovation, thank you all for the help this far. And we're looking forward to the future. Thanks.
Please welcome Gearhart Fibers' Heath Wiley.
Hey folks, what a wonderful night. Thank you for having us. And my name's Heath Wiley, Director of Marketing for Gearhart Communications. Gearhart Communication has been serving Floyd and surrounding counties for the past several decades. We're actually going to celebrate our 70th anniversary next month, and we were bringing state-of-the-art telecommunications all over Eastern Kentucky. Now in 2023, we're very excited to announce that we're bringing fiber optic home internet to the city of Prestonburg and the city of Pikeville. We'll be able to offer high-speed services such as streaming TV, phone, security, and so much more for businesses and residents alike. We're Gearhart Communications. Our motto is better broadband means better lives. Now, enough about us. Let's just get on to the Business Person of the Year. The SOAR Business Person of the Year recognizes a business leader whose leadership has led the growth to their business or company. Donovan Blackburn is the president and CEO of Pikeville Medical Center, and prior to joining the hospital, he served city manager for the city of Pikeville. Donovan is a visionary and a leader that leads by example and by the commitment of his greater cause. Donovan has led a transformational period of growth for Pikeville Medical Center. This includes the opening of the Appalachian Valley Autism Center, or AVA Center, in Pikeville and Prestonburg, and Maytooth Children's Hospital, the first children's hospital in Eastern Kentucky. Healthcare is the region's #1 industry, and the Pikeville Medical Center is a reason for that. Donovan promotes a culture of people, quality, and services, and that extends to the world-class treatment Pikeville Medical Center provides its patients. As an economic driver in the region, Donovan has led the efforts of both locally and across the state to create programs and partnerships to address the growing needs for healthcare professionals in Pikeville Medical Center and other facilities across Eastern Kentucky and the Commonwealth. This is just a small glimpse of Donovan's work and impact into the region. And I'm honored to present him with Business Person of the Year Award.
Well, I am extremely honored and humbled tonight, more than anyone will ever know. First of all, I want to thank SOAR, Colby, and the selection committee for the distinct honor realizing the crowd that was competing for this award. I also want to thank, in the audience, I can see in the fourth row, I think it is, my wonderful team. You know, I get the opportunity every day to go to work and manage from the back because we have some of the most amazing administrators and leaders any organization could ever hope for, which allows me to be notarized such as this. I also want to thank my wife, Debbie, who's here with me tonight, who is always at my side, honors and takes care of me and supports me in every endeavor that I've done. And then last and certainly not least, I want to thank God. God, man, He's opened so many doors for me. He's put me in so many different positions and has utilized me as a tool to help those who I care about, which is the people from Eastern Kentucky. And it goes to show that with God's mercy and His grace and with help and hard work, that little boy from Greasy Creek, Kentucky becomes CEO of a hospital. Thank you.
Please welcome Leadership Kentucky President Janice Way.
Hello, everyone. The Appalachia Leadership Award recognizes an individual whose exemplary leadership has improved the quality of life and quality of place at a regional level. There's no better person to recognize with this first ever Appalachia Leadership Award than Elmer Whitaker. His roots run deep in Eastern Kentucky. He grew up right outside Hazard, and he has spent his professional career building companies and communities. He's the president and CEO of Whitaker Bank and the president of Whitaker Bank Corporation, a family-owned financial institution and bank holding company. You see their banks all over Eastern and Central Kentucky. Elmer leads by example, by giving back and by paying it forward. He's been honored for his work on diversity and inclusion with YMCAs, financial literacy education in schools, and for years as a youth soccer coach. I don't know how he does it all, but he does, and he does it all well. And wherever he is, he's present and in the moment, never distracted. I really got to know Elmer and understand his commitment to this region in 2018 when he was chair of the Board of Directors for Leadership Kentucky. And he had a vision to start a leadership program exclusively for Eastern Kentucky. As we were creating Bright, Elmer kept saying, we must focus on ethics, being nonpartisan, networking, and the creation of opportunities throughout the region. We need these bright young leaders to stay here in Eastern Kentucky and make a difference and not move away. So Bright Kentucky was created in 2019. In addition to financially supporting the program, Elmer attends each and every session, and he provides mentorship, advice, and development for all the participants. Since its inception, nearly 170 individuals have completed the Bright program, and it has far exceeded our expectations. And I know there's a lot of Bright graduates here this evening, and by the way, we're accepting applications for this year's program if you know someone who's interested. But there is nothing that Elmer has done and is doing that's more important to him than his family. His lovely wife, Bridget, and his daughters. Family is everything to Elmer. It's my honor to present a true leader and visionary, Elmer Whitaker, with the SOAR Appalachia Leadership Award.
It's truly an honor to be with you here tonight and receive this award. My work in leadership has been fueled by my passion for the Appalachian region. And through that, I believe in collaboration and helping others reach their full potential. That's my ultimate goal. And I've had the pleasure of collaborating with many of you that I've seen in the audience here tonight. So I really share this award with each of you because we've done these things together. And I look forward to working with you to continue to set our high level and standard of excellence throughout our region. So thank you and God bless.
Please welcome People's Bank Vice President Gary Couvert and Branch Manager Nikki Shepard.
Well, good evening. It is certainly our honor and pleasure to be part of the SOAR Gala this evening and to recognize so many great community members from across Eastern Kentucky. This is a special time for People's Bank. This month will mark our 4th anniversary of our presence here in Eastern Kentucky, in addition to a Pikeville insurance office that we established in 2014. We also officially today completed a partnership with Limestone Bank in Louisville, Kentucky, which will give People's 45 branch locations now throughout the Commonwealth. So an exciting time for us to continue to grow our services in Eastern Kentucky. Our goal is to become the best community bank in America, but we know that in order to do that, we must be active in our local communities. You may have noticed as you walked in the door today, we now have the People's Bank box office, or a partnership here with Mountain Arts Center and the great work that they do in this venue. Last year, when tragedy struck our local communities, we were able to partner with several people in the community to raise over $100,000 for the Floyd County Fallen Heroes Fund, in addition to contributing over $20,000 to flood relief for the eastern Kentucky counties that were affected by the flooding last year. It is, again, our honor to be a part of Eastern Kentucky as we continue to grow our services, and we work with each of you to kind of work together to build success.
The East Kentucky Humanitarian Award recognizes the work of an individual or organization advancing social causes across Appalachia. You may know Wayland as the home of Kentucky's first Mr. Basketball, King Kelly Coleman, and the home of the Mountain Sports Hall of Fame. It is also the home of Jerry Foltz. Jerry is the mayor of Wayland and a retired educator. He's also a humanitarian at his core. During last year's flood, Jerry mobilized a distribution center at the old Wayland High School gym in a matter of hours. This distribution center served over 1,000 people daily at its peak and averaged distributing 800 meals and medical services to 250 people daily. Jerry did all of this despite his own home being flooded. He's a true servant leader, and we're honored to honor him with the East Kentucky Humanitarian Award.
Thank you. I guess they've kind of saved the best for last. I'm truly honored, but more so humbled by the number of people and what you have achieved and what we've heard this evening. I feel like I work hard every day. But as I said in the audience earlier, to hear what came across the stage and the things that they've done, the challenges that others are doing, I'm just humbled. I'm not doing enough, even though I get up and my wife would probably tell you I leave home, she doesn't see me, but I obviously am not doing enough. So I'm humbled and I'm honored with this award. Thank you all. Thanks, SOAR. I appreciate it.
We are a region dripping. Dripping with the excess water that found its way into the places we once thought safe and dry. Dripping with exhaustion and fear as the work and weight of everything just looks to be too much. Dripping with heartache and dread as the blessings that once overflowed mixed in with the flowing waters. We are a region coated in debris and the scattered remnants of a reality that no longer exists for many of our people. Coated in mud, layers of caked on dirt replacing the foundation of everything so many people worked so hard to build. Coated in a strange awareness that this isn't the first time, and it won't be the last. We are a region overwhelmed. Overwhelmed by the quickness of change and the shortness of life. Overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of the waters that came and the work and worry they left behind. Overwhelmed at the idea of how to move forward. But we also drip of something more. Love, care, empathy, sympathy, and steadfast spirit drip from the bridges and underpinnings as help makes its way home. Hope drips from the tired hands of every person who has worked to clean up and move forward, reassured by the reaching hands of those who want to pick up their burdens. And the ugly things that coat us are no match for the beautiful things that cover us. We are coated in quilts of possibility, patched together by our neighbors and friends. We are coated in the armor of safety, knowing the floods of life are never faced alone. It's sometimes hard to tell the difference between gray clouds and silver linings, so finding the good things in all of the tragedy is overwhelming in itself. We are overwhelmed with stories of love thy neighbor and look for the helpers, which show the kind of home we have. We are overwhelmed by boots on the ground, as the cavalry of compassion shows the rest of the world a truth that looms above all. We are a region standing.
On July the 27th, the flood was historic. It was a 100-year flood. Immediately after it was over, I got a call from Donovan Blackburn about doing a telethon to try to get the word out about the help that was needed. I was talking to one of the volunteers who said, I didn't understand the devastation until I'd taken some canned food to a family, and the lady looked at me and said, do you have a can opener? They'd lost everything. During that telethon, I saw a story from a friend who had been flooded. It was on WYMT, and at the end of it, he said, don't worry about me, help somebody else. Our people are something else. Just recently, I was at the ISOM clinic of MCHC, and I heard the story of the nurses who had lost their homes, but they were there getting the clinic back because people needed health care. We have a remarkable resource, and it's our people. Today, we want to honor the many who answered the call and continue to answer the call to help those continuing to rebuild and to pick up the pieces from this natural disaster. While our hearts remain with our friends and our neighbors, let's pause today to recognize those who went above and beyond and continue to do so to help those in need. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please help me welcome the following. Kane Kitchen. Primary Care Centers of Eastern Kentucky. The Housing Development and Alliance. Appalachian Apparel. Tiffany Kraft, Mayor of Whitesburg. Jerry Fultz, Mayor of Wayland. Former State Representative Angie Hatton. The East Kentucky Dream Center. Accepting on behalf of Dr. Seema Sachdeva, Jean Hale. The Mountain Association. Southeast Kentucky Economic Development. Community Ventures. Kentucky Small Business Development Center. Foundation of Appalachian Kentucky. And the Christian Appalachian Project. I think this deserves a standing ovation. Thank you all. Thank you. I hope you have enjoyed the first ever East Kentucky Gala celebrating Appalachia. I want to thank Kobe and his entire staff, especially my friend Josh Ball, who's up in the room. Josh had all this timed out to the very second. If you don't believe me, it actually says bathroom break, 22.3 seconds, includes washing and drying of hands. Now that is timed out, isn't it? We also want to thank our sponsor, Kentucky Power, and all of the sponsors that made this possible, the nominees, the winners, the people of Appalachia. And we want you to know that there's going to be a networking reception in the lobby and the Diversified Energy Education Wing. Now listen, when it comes to networking, I have an old friend that has a saying, if you can't make money off your friends, who are you going to make it off of? So get out there and network. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. Thanks to SOAR. Have a good evening.